Morning, guys. Something I want to discuss about today. I have an 8-year-old son and 2.5-year-old daughter. Okay, and recently my daughter stopped listening to all the wheels on the bus and all that.
Wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round.
Stuff. You know what she's listening to now? PSY.
어딜 쳐다보는 거냐고 솔직히 너 그래 너 생판 처음 만난 너 왜 널 쳐다보는 거냐고
Momoland. Blackpink.
Let's kill this love. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ram pa 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 pa.
Yep. So, obviously it's influenced by my son, right? My son goes to school and the kids all, the thing is this, in the 90s, it was the Japanese, right? When our generation, when we were still in school and all that, is the fad was all Japanese, and of course to a certain degree it has always been the Americans, right? Back in the 60s, 70s it was the British, but after that it was the American era in terms of pop culture, music and all that. And pop culture is a very, very powerful tool. It makes, you see, music has no boundaries. It's a cliche saying, but that's true. Okay, music has no boundaries. Great music, great songs, it goes all over the world. And when it goes all over the world, be it different culture, be it people understand to you or not, when they like what was being carried forth, not only do they like the song, but subconsciously they open up to the culture and begin accepting whatever that comes from the culture, right? Case in point, food. Case in point, products. Travel. It is an extremely powerful tool. And there's something that not many might know. Back in the 1997 Asian economic crisis, there's one genius. You know, that time, the worst hit, the hardest hit one has to be South Korea, right? They went bankrupt. And people were joking, hey, you want to buy a piece of South Korea? You know, back then, people were saying that kind of joke. And I still strongly remember that era, we see Samsung as a cheap product. We see Samsung as a Sony copycat, you know? When you don't like a brand yet, even the logo irritates you. Right? When you love a brand, the logo becomes prettier and prettier. So that's how powerful brand building is. Anyway, that era was still the Japanese era. You know, in terms of products, people are buying Sonys and all that stuff. Okay, and Sony Ericsson and all that. Samsung is second grade product, right? LG, Anyway, during the Asian financial crisis, right? I read this somewhere. I forgot where I read it. Right? In the Korean government, there was a movement, there was a suggestion that the government gave the full buy-in. And you know what is that? Someone suggested, right, for the government to fully support the entertainment industry in South Korea. Can you imagine how amazing that single statement was? What they said is, the government should support the South Korean entertainment industry. The export of South Korean pop culture, music, movies, and from there on, the world will accept South Korean products. Can you imagine how forward thinking that is? That is amazing. I still remember back in college days when one of my housemates were watching a Korean movie. It was My Sassy Girl, and I walked past and I was like, what language is that? You know, I can distinctly recognize Japanese language, but it's my first encounter with Korean language, you know. I couldn't make up if it is Mongolian or whatever language it is. It just sounds so foreign to me, but the characters all look like, you know, the yellow Asians, you know. I mean, we Chinese, Korean, Japanese are considered the yellow Asians, right? Anyway, I was like, oh, Korean, that's how they sound like. Yeah, that was in year 2000. Yeah, as recent as that. And I remember distinctly it was the export of Korean dramas that started first, then their movies, then came their pop stars, and then Korean restaurants start opening up everywhere. People want to travel to Korea, and then my wife somehow worked in Korean Air. Yeah, that was it. And I mean, we can see how powerful they are now, right? They literally dominated the globalization of pop music and all that, right? It's no longer just English, right? And it's amazing to learn that. I mean, because when my kids started wanting to listen to all these K-pops, right? You know how YouTube works, right? They start feeding you more and more and more and more, and then you start having short video documentaries about why they are so successful, and then you see they are on the Tonight Show and all that. Then all those just feeds in, and then you start watching and digesting and learning and more, and it's amazing. It is amazing that the highest, most viewed YouTube videos in 24 hours, they are largely dominated by K-pops. And when I think of this, right, then somehow it strikes me that what the hell is Hyundai and Kia doing with K-pop? You know, I knew that Kia is a global sponsor of Blackpink, but other than that, what have they been doing? Or are they clueless about what they should do with K-pop? I see some sponsorships, but to me, those sponsorships, see, the thing is this: it's very common that you want to sell a car, and this is a popular celebrity, and you ask that celebrity, you pay that celebrity some money, and then that's it. The celebrity stand next to your car and feature in some commercials, and then go like, right? That is normal, right? Anybody can pay money to a celebrity standing next to their car. But what I'm saying is, what is Hyundai and Kia doing by further intertwining themselves with this K-pop phenomena? You know, because I think I saw some commercials that popped in when I was it a commercial or someone uploaded? You know, it's like some boy band, like really young Korean boy band. I think it's that BTS or something, right? Standing next to a Hyundai Palisade. What does a bunch of 20-year-olds have anything to do with an Uncle Mobile like a Palisade? You know, you don't just put your latest product next to the group that you're sponsoring and call it a day off. That's not how marketing is done. It's not that way. You know, okay, I'll give you an example. Malaysia, okay, I know earlier on Blackpink came over and then Kia was a sponsor, right? But after that, I don't see Kia doing anything. You see, one of the biggest MTVs that dropped from Blackpink was that this Kill This Love Song, right? It's going everywhere around YouTube. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, right? Why did Kia not, let's say if I'm Kia, why did they not say like, announce that, okay, we know when this music video is dropping. I mean, dropping as in going live on YouTube. Let's do a nationwide showroom that our customers can bring their kids all, and then we're gonna host them with food or whatever, and then with a projector screen with some great sound system, and then thank you. You get what I mean? You know, when I learn of it, what in a short 1 or 2 days they hit 100 million views, and now it's hardly 1 month after they debuted that video, it's already 300 over million. How staggering is that? And it's just amazing. Just imagine this: if Kia, you see, Kia's cars are like what, 80,000, 70,000, 60,000, and to below the 200k range, right? And Kia's customers, they have a lot of our family, they have kids, and these kids must be all over K-pop, right? See, every car brand wants to do something once in a while to think of, what should I do, you know? If everyone can watch YouTube, why can't they go like, okay, World Cup, think about it, World Cup, how many brands, how many restaurants out there, right, during World Cup time is like, hey, come and watch World Cup with us, you know, and then we have promotion on beer, on food and things like that. That's what I meant, right? Why aren't they doing that? I just don't see these brands knowing what to do with this crazy K-pop phenomenon, or they never cross their minds, because if they do so, it will be so powerful for them. I mean, you could have launched, you could have brought in the new Picanto, and you say we have two new colors. One color on one side is black, the other side is pink. You make up your mind, what is it? See, things like that. I mean, the traditional way of marketing cars now, you know, oh, let's do a survey. Malaysians all like white color, black color, silver and grey. That's the 4 colors our cars will be sold upon. Okay, survey? Does survey really work sometimes? Not all the times. I mean, if Kia were to do a survey on owner satisfaction level of the Kia Spectra or the Kia Sophia, they wouldn't have pumped in money on the Kia Forte, right? Because the Sophia and the Spectra was so shit. You shouldn't take any survey, any customer sentiment from them. You throw everything away, you snatch Peter Schreier from Audi, and then you sit down and say that, fuck them, fuck this shit, I'm gonna build something that people will like. See? That's how it works. So this video is not specifically directed to Kia, but is specifically directed to the Korean brands, because, you know, I mean, I'll be very happy if Japanese brands can throw away that mindset. You know, there's something weird about Japanese companies. When they buy air conditioning units, they will not buy anything from Korea. The refrigerators, you know, they will not buy anything from Korea. Japanese people will buy iPhones, but not Samsungs. You know, to them, it's like admitting defeat. It's like their old colony is now better than them, you know. So put aside that, okay, but I'll be very happy if the Japanese can open up this mindset, you know. Just ride on top of whatever that works. Be strategic, be tactical, all right? If K-pop is popular, ride on top of that, sell your stuff. Put aside that Japanese or Korean thingy, because honestly speaking, nobody cares. Your customers don't care, right? But I'm specifically talking about Hyundai and Kia now. I see that there are plenty of opportunity that they could have angled it properly, because it gets attention, right? It is a way to market. I don't mean just aligning themselves with all the Korean celebrities or whatever, but I don't think they are riding on top of their Korean wave as good as many other companies they are doing so out of South Korea. You know, Samsung especially clever marketing, right? I just felt that, wow, little mini, can't wait to be a BMW owner. Anyway, yeah. So what do you think? It's just that this struck me because I see Kia and Hyundai trying to be more and more European when the world is always wanting the next thing coming out of Korea. You get what I mean or not? You know, their cars are so European now. They're like, I'm like, yeah. So there are a lot that can be done. There's a lot that can be done from these brands. I mean, they could launch special versions that if you something funny, something that catches attention. I mean, they can say that, oh, our new Hyundai Accent. If you listen, it comes preloaded with some songs from. Okay, I only know a few Korean groups because of my kids from my YouTube timeline or feed. And actually, after a while, we quite like it as well. Yes, their musics are quite happening. Anyway, yeah, they could have come preloaded with these songs, and then maybe the in-car ambient lighting are specifically programmed to interact better with these songs when the music come along. You see the Kia Soul in US, it has that ambient lighting thingy that follows the beat, but they could have just make it a twist, and then you get something to market, to shout out, right? You say, this car, this list of songs is gonna react differently. You know, consumers like that. They like things that are just out of the norm, things that pique your curiosity, and then you have fun with it. You look at Tesla, right? They have a celebration mode, and those cars and Teslas out accelerate a lot of supercars. Why do you think they have a celebration mode? Right? In celebration mode, the wings go up and down, flapping, and then the lights start flashing, and some cheeky celebration music comes out. You know, imagine you go drag race with a Lamborghini, and then you stop in front, and then you initiate celebration mode. These are the things that people like.
Standaard.
Ik wil die niet kent, hè? Let op, zal net op.